Like I think we'll have a good amount of guests coming in to have
Mhm.
to discuss like spirituality and religion.
Yeah,
Mm,
I read through. Yeah, it's
yeah,
interesting.
I think it's just important that we just, keep the peace, so to speak.
Yeah,
All
what
right.
happened? Are we live now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Because I heard like, I saw your post on I saw your post on Facebook. I mean, not
Mhm.
even a post, it was a video that you made.
Yes,
So
exactly.
what was that? What was that about?
Well, I'll give you more detail, but let's dive into the session because it is short. We only have
I hear you.
55 minutes.
Let's
So
go.
greetings, everybody. We are back at the house of OFC, where we get together on a weekly basis just to raise that vibration, to discuss religion, to discuss spirituality, to discuss how we build as a community. I'm Pharaoh Hamid-Freeman, founder and director of the OFC community, and I am joined by my brother Ibohan. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hey family, like it's nice to have you guys back, and we're back live, live, live. Welcome back, Pharaoh from Ghana, Africa, the motherland. Yeah, my name is yeah, that's what's up. My name is Sebohon Idonije the second. I'm the co-founder of United Explorer Special Needs Program, co-founder and CEO of United Explorer Special Needs Program. And yeah, we do things to empower our community, bring communities together, strengthen and empower the individuals. That's what we focus on that. So let's do this. Yes.
Blessings, great to have you. And we have our Queen Tasha who's going to be popping in a bit. Just so you guys know what to expect, as usual, we get together on a weekly. First off, we're going to play a little music clip just to kind of raise the vibrations, have a quick chat about what the music is about. Then we will play a short clip that's on the topic for today. And today's topic, we're actually, oops, wrong thing. We're discussing, this is like a precursor because next week we're going to deep dive, but this is a bit of a precursor to the conversation of religion and spirituality and finding a middle ground on how we could build together as a people despite our backgrounds. So we're going to have a precursor conversation today, and next week we'll be going into more detail about it. So with no further ado, I'm going to first start off by playing a quick little music, and then we will be back. All right. So let me share my screen, mute myself. A little check. Are we seeing the screen?
Yes, we are.
All right. Let's just make sure we're hearing the audio. Oh, and it's coming in. Hearing the audio?
From the north to the
Yes.
south, the east to the west. The great continent Alkebulan. Oh yes, you why? I'm an African soldier. If you never know, you better know now. I'm an African soldier. Say boy better know how we run, boy, yeah. Fully governed, me stay fully governed. Step on the scene, man, humble lion. Holy Zion, me say holy Zion. Me solid as a rock and me strong like a iron. Fire burning, and that is Jaja sign. We going, yo, this greatness can decline. Flowing, this river cannot dry. Oh, Mama Africa, we tell them this is our time, yeah. I'm an African soldier. If you never know, you better know now.
1 second. Let me just make sure. Hey, Sister Tasha. Sister Tasha, you hearing us okay? I just realized all these things are popping up here. Hold on. Sister Tasha, you hearing us? Are you hearing me behind?
Yes, I can.
And were you hearing the music before?
Yeah, we were here before, but now it's stopped.
Okay, all right, hold on. Because Sister Tasha was saying she wasn't hearing anything.
Oh,
Okay, let me start it back up. Sorry,
okay.
beautiful people. Let's hold on. Let me go back. We'll go back and just continue. Okay, I think it was a technical issue on her end because she just dropped off.
African soldier. Say boy better know how we run, boy. Yeah. Alright then. From Cape to Cairo, Sahel to Gabon, Nigeria to Ghana to Sierra Leone. Africa's world belongs to all African. There is a fight against evil and corruption. My ancestors bled for generation. The children's cry for liberation. We left it to our leaders, but they're all compromised. Until we saw a young man who opened our eyes. Africa, I'm an African soldier. If you never know, you better know now. I'm an African soldier. Say boy better know how we run, boy. Yeah. Just one, watch your one just done. I'm an African.
Yeah. Well, this was very fitting, I feel. Just the energy was right. Let me stop my share. All right, brother behind, you wanna just share what we just listened to and the inspiration, why you felt that was the vibe for today?
Yeah, because it- we have to come from a perspective, right?
Yes.
We have to come from a perspective. That's what this is all about, you know. So we have to have come from a unified point. We have to,
Mm.
otherwise, yes, otherwise nothing works. We have to come from one unified point. So, based on what the conversations we've been having, your journey to Africa, what we talk about, and the subject of today's live show, and where we intend to go. So I felt like, I was brainstorming with my brother in Africa just like 15 minutes before. I was like, this is what Pharaoh and I were gonna do, the whole house of OFC. And what do you think? Let's brainstorm. What music? Because he himself is deep into like the roots. Exactly what and stuff. And so he said, oh, he mentioned somebody and he said, give him this
Mm.
African Patrol Ranking and Bougie Banton. It's amazing. It's a new
Mm.
song that just came out. So give him that. So you listen to it. So we listened to it together. I was like, yep, that's what I'm sending to Pharaoh right now. So I sent it to you. We
I
have to come
love
from
it.
yes, we have to come from a unified point. Otherwise, nothing will work.
Ah, geez, I love it. I love it. I love it. And Sister Taja has entered the building, Queen. If you want to just introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, how y'all doing? I am Taj Love Oracle. I'm so grateful to see that you are back. You are definitely looking like Africa touched you. Let me tell you. My
Sister,
brother, you are looking
really.
like the motherland, my brother.
Man, sister, don't even get me started. I'm looking to go right back. I'm looking to go right back. So
On this fine Sunday, I am Taj Love Oracle, psychic reading guide. I am just here to do this beautiful blessing with you guys every Sunday. It's such a pleasure. I think with you guys when we were going. And so it is a pleasure to be back here today. And I actually got something going on. So when we come down to that time, I actually got something to say this.
yeah.
All right.
I love it. I love it, Queen. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play a quick clip. It's a quick little 3-minute clip that discusses just it gives a perspective between religion and spirituality. I felt that it was fitting for the conversation today, and I felt it was good because again, our goal here is not necessarily to pick or choose a particular side, but it is to have an objective conversation, kind of representing both sides and giving different perspectives with the goal of unity and how can we just work together as a people despite our differences. All right, so let me play this quick clip for you guys and shout out to this is coming from Illustrate to Educate. What is the difference between being religious and being spiritual? All right. Mm, 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 mm.
Have you ever wondered exactly what the difference is between religion and spirituality? Which one do you lean toward? Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman and welcome back to Illustrate to Educate. In this short video, we'll dive into a simple explanation comparing and contrasting spirituality and religion with input from experts of religion and spirituality. And if you find this video to be helpful, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Spirituality and religion are two ways people search for meaning and connection in life, but they work in different ways. Think of spirituality as your own inner journey. It's about the personal feelings, experiences, and moments of wonder you have when you connect with nature, art, or simply quiet reflection. Spirituality this and path religion is flexible with input from experts of religion. It doesn't require following strict rules. And if you find this video to be helpful, for example, someone might start the day with a quiet meditation, take a long walk in the woods to feel more connected to nature, or keep a journal to reflect on life's mysteries. These activities are very much about personal exploration and can change as you grow. Religion, on the other hand, usually comes with a ready-made framework. It offers a set of beliefs, rituals, and traditions that have been passed down through generations. Being religious often means joining a community that shares these common values and practices, like attending church, temple, or mosque services, celebrating traditional holidays such as Christmas, Ramadan, or Diwali, or celebrating in regular prayer and communal rituals. These practices provide clear guidelines and a sense of belonging, which many people find comforting and stabilizing. It's important to remember that these aren't mutually exclusive paths. You can be religious and still have a rich personal spiritual life, or you can explore spirituality outside of any formal religious setting. For example, a person might attend weekly services at their church, which would be embracing religion, and also spend time alone in nature or practice yoga to feel a deeper connection to life, which would be embracing spirituality. Experts like Kenneth Pargament, who has done a lot of research on how people use both religion and spirituality to cope with life's challenges, reminds us that whether you're looking for an established tradition or paving your own unique path, what really matters is finding comfort, meaning, and purpose in your life. Similarly, thinkers like William James have long discussed how our personal experiences, what we feel and how we interpret them, play a huge role in how we connect with something greater than ourselves. This shows that while religion gives us a communal and organized way to approach life's big questions, spirituality offers a more individualized, flexible approach that can change as you grow. Did you find this video comparing spirituality and religion to be helpful? If so, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Illustrate to Educate to support more simple and objective videos on topics that matter. If you like this video, please check out the channel for more videos on religion and consider
All right. So that was that, and again, I wanted to find something, and I'm grateful for the spirit led me here, something that was able to give both perspectives. And why I really appreciated that is because it really explains that you can be religious and spiritual, you can be spiritual and religious. So it doesn't have to be a debate, it doesn't have to be a fight, it doesn't have to be contrast. But first, let's so I want to give you guys the floor to get your perspective. And actually, well, first let me give you guys some context in terms of even how we got to this conversation, because I think it's important for people to understand. So in the as you guys know, the last couple of weeks I was away in Ghana, and I had the privilege of, just really experiencing to experience the culture and to experience the space and the country and the people and the environment. And one of the things that I had the opportunity to do is to go to the Elmina castles, where that was one of the castles where they were exporting our enslaved brothers and sisters in Ghana. That was up in Cape Coast, and I found it ironic just because like it was it was very mentally jarring, for lack of a better term, to be able, like, just to wrap my head around the fact that they had the dungeons where people were crying, begging, pleading, you name it, like using the bathroom on themselves, throwing up, all kind of different things. They had this space under the church. where the church, in the church, you could actually look down because they brought us upstairs to see, and there's holes in the floor where you could actually see the enslaved people. And so while they're praying to Jesus and they're praying, the people are toiling underneath them. And I found that very like unsettling to say the least. But I said, you know what? That was in the times then. True, like religion, they never even saw our ancestors as humans, so they were treating us in a certain kind of way. So I understood that. But just to fast forward in terms of how we got here. So on coming back, it's like, I myself personally, I'm a spiritualist. So, and I've been blessed to have religious experience throughout my entire life experience. So it gives me a perspective that enables me to respect and appreciate all religions because I know the importance that it held in my life, and I know the importance that it held in people's lives. But nonetheless, me myself, I'm more of a spiritualist. So I got back and I shared a little post that just the caption, or the caption was along the lines of, man, I could only imagine how it feels like to be an ancestor, knowing like the fight that you have to go through and knowing that your people today are praying to Jesus. Right. And I said, yeah, because, and again, in context, in terms of like, I'm like, yeah, I could only imagine what that could feel like, knowing as an ancestor, knowing what you went through the experience, and seeing now people are praying to this Jesus. And in your mind, you're like, I'm pretty sure as these ancestors, they're hearing Jesus and they don't want nothing to do with this Jesus that these people are praying to, while they're going through whatever hardship. Long story short, it created way more negative debate and comments than I had anticipated. Um, and as a result, I even ended up just taking down the post completely, just because I said, look, I'm not here to foster negativity. I'm not here to encourage negative dialogue. I'm here for conversation, for dialogue, but everybody should be entitled to their opinions. So in going through that, I met with even a member of my board of directors, and we had a conversation on the topic. And we said, you know what? Because our goal is to build community, and it's to give people a voice and to give people an opportunity to dialogue. But at our root, we're always looking to figure out ways to bring us together. Let's not stifle the conversation. Let's create a space for the conversation so that we can dialogue as a community, find our middle ground so that we can build together despite the differences, because we should not let anything, whether it be religion, whether it be politics, let it be sexual orientation, even whether it be race, we shouldn't let any of those things divide us as a people, especially understanding that we thrive together as a people. So that's how we came to this topic of let's dialogue, let's come together. Like, how do we find a middle ground? So today's our precursor. Next week is the conversation's open to the entire community, where we're going to be inviting people from different religious backgrounds, different spiritual backgrounds, to come and share their perspectives. But again, with the objective of, let's figure out a way to, despite our differences, find a common ground in order to build something solid for our future. We're not coming together to debate on whose beliefs are better, because that's not the case. It's not even it's not that's a non-issue, because everybody's religious and spiritual beliefs is their own. So nobody could come in and tell you what you're doing is wrong or what you're doing is wrong. They could only say what's good for them and why it's good for them, right? But all right, I hope I gave a good context. I didn't take up too much time with that. And so with that, I want to open the floor. I don't know who wants to speak first, between Brother Ibrahim or Sister Taja. But I'll let you guys toss it up, and whoever's whoever's ready to go.
Yeah.
So, but Johan, you want to go? It looks like Tasha's doing something, and she'll try.
I'll go. I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go. So welcome back from Ghana. It's amazing. You see, it says, "Thou shalt not serve any image here on earth or in heaven, save the living God." Save the living God. So, and the living God is spirit. Living God is spirit, and it's mentality. It's a mentality. It's a state of mind. It is not anything outside of the state of mind. So, division, mental division or physical division, is the problem why we are where we are, and the refusal to upgrade, like iPhone 1, iPhone 2. There's always an upgrade. The mentality must continuously to evolve, test the boundaries, open to global opening. So my point is this: I understand where people are coming from when they speak, try to separate spirituality from religion. That itself is a problem.
Mhm.
That itself is a problem because nothing is separate, everything is one. So that's where the unified front is a mental thing. It doesn't have to come from everybody. An individual must be unified in mentality towards one goal. And to do that is to let go of everything else spiritually, to walk a path, to be one with God. See, doesn't have to do with a building, doesn't have to do with any word. People are saying it has to do, it's a mental, it has no words. Now, religion, we're spirits. So spirit covers everything. So anything you want to make out of spirit is just a byproduct of being a spirit. So so from the today's perspective, they say like, spirituality is something you have to do. You have to do it like this. You have to burn this. You have to do that. Finding the rituals to do spirituality. And in religion, they have their own rituals in the churches or mosque or anywhere they're doing things. So they are celebrating the rituals and not spirituality. Spirituality is a state of mind that you've evolved to a point where your mental thought is so clear and you're able to see what you do in mind and be grateful and be humble and be of service to the people from a mental being. And every day of that you're doing becomes the religion. It's a religion. You don't have to do anything. You have to get up in the morning, practice, and evolve to the point where your mind is unified. And you know that your life, my life, is the religion. So what I do to people, what I say to people, like it's a free mind and to constantly polish it. So everything becomes one in the mind. So because that's what it means when you say when the eyes are singled, the whole body will light. So when people think about Jesus, when they think about Jesus, they're thinking about a man or religion or something. I don't know what, but Jesus is not like people were praying on top of the church and people were doing something underneath. This is not Jesus. Jesus is not color. Jesus is not religion. Jesus is not spirituality. Jesus is just a person, a spirit that came here to show man that one can be united in mind with God. You can become one in mind. Forget all the other things. And he brought it down. So it's all about spirituality encompasses everything. In spirituality, there's mathematics, there's physics, there's chemistry, there's all of the world exists within spirituality. So there's no need to separate it. Just live a good life, use your energy the right way, have imagination in your head that supports your energy, be nice to people in your spirit, give praise for being able to do this, and watch the growth that comes from such a unity of people, and that is what we should protect. So whatever we are celebrating, making bonfire, doing stuff, it is celebration of a mental liberation that we are now able to think in support of ourselves and love ourselves. This is what the rituals should celebrate, and we should not forget that. That's the foundational root. Spirituality is as clear as the air you breathe. You don't see it, you feel it. So I'll wrap it as that,
Brother, heavy, heavy,
Yeah.
heavy. Claps to that. Claps to that. Thank you so much. Sister Taja, if you could chime in.
I mean, I shouldn't have let you go first. I shouldn't have let you go first. You took up my stuff. But I'm in such agreement because, just here's the thing I've learned with religion and spirituality because I was born into a Muslim household, but went to Sunday school and became a Buddhist. So that should let you already know. Okay? What I learned in exploring religion, in exploring spirituality, and exploring all of this, it came back to one thing and one thing only. When whether you're a Buddhist, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Jehovah Witness or you're an atheist, whatever your idea of yourself boils down to, what I am I become. So if you believe that you're holier than thou, you're going to be moving that way. If you believe that you're garbage, you're going to be that way. It doesn't matter what your religion is, because I realize that even in the religious aspect, there's so much struggling, there's so much strife, there's so much division, there's so much discord within it, because it all has forgotten the one prime thing, and that is bringing it back to you. I am that I am. When I read the Quran and I get the full understanding, it brings me back to what I am that I am. When I studied Buddhism and they told me that there was no God in Buddhism, they said there's no God. They don't believe in a God, but they believe in self. And so it's about your accountability and responsibility. Then going back into the Christian, then I started going back to church with my mama. Then it was like, okay, wait a minute. So what Jesus was saying was, I am that I am, our Father who art in heaven. We all are supposed to be this thing. Also, there was no division. And once I started to understand that there was no division, the only thing that divided us was our own mindsets and the way we wanted to be able to control others. But when we start working on combining what we call religion and we start to actually accept who we are in spirit, it all starts to become one again, because you start to become one again. Because I don't care wherever you go, whatever idea you want to put on, once you start focusing on that energy of I am and your responsibility and accountability to life, then you start to understand everybody. Then you don't have an issue with a Christian, a Muslim, or nobody, because you understand that God is in everything. And in everything there is God. And once you start to move in that element, or what we call this thing, all it ever said is that I am. And as long as you take that accountability and responsibility and do whatever good you can with that I am, then it don't even matter.
Sister,
Right there.
sister, claps to that. Thank you, thank you. So to give my my 2 cents on the topic, the and it's funny because Taj and I would go way back. So when you talk about our Muslim roots, our fathers were friends. So so hence why I have a very similar journey to yours, where I was blessed to understand Islam, to go to the mosque, and to understand the Quran, and to live a Muslim life as a child coming up, and to hear, and to sit at my dad's feet and to understand, and even sometimes listen to him talking to his brethren. And so I have that understanding, and respect for it. And then being with my mother, who was more Christian Pentecostal, then that was a different world, a different experience. And in between the two is where I was able to find myself. And I think the one of the most powerful things for people to understand is that every individual is here for their own journey in their own time. So where myself, on a physical level, I'm 45, going to be 46 this year, but my non-physical self is thousands and thousands of years old. I have a bit of an older spirit. So my experience on this planet is going to be a little, it's like I'm going to be able to catch up a little bit earlier and remember things a little bit earlier and adopt things into my life experience so that I could kind of evolve. And we're all here to evolve as beings on this planet. So when I needed religion, it was there for me. And it did what it needed to in my life experience. And I share it with no issues. Like, I was incarcerated when I was younger, and being able to cling to the Bible and to pray and spend time with my mom on the phone, like, going through, like, whatever, just even praying for people while I was inside, all kind of different things. It gave me a peace. And then even bringing people to church, like, and having that relationship with Jesus, all those things, it's what helped to make me who I am today. But in that journey, there was something that awoken in me where there's a little bit more to this. And there was never, I never felt any negative about what I had experienced before, because I was like, I needed those things then. But now that I'm here, and it's almost as if, like, when you grow up as a, from a baby to an adult, like, you don't go back to eating baby food after a certain time. You're like, yo, I'm here, and I could take on other things, right? So now, with my understanding of the bigger picture, I understood, and I respected and appreciated the evolution that made me understand that, you know what? like Jesus is a representation. Jesus is an example. Jesus came to set an example of how we are to function on the planet. Like so, and in all the teachings and in the word, and I'm reading, and there was so much love that came through the spirit, but then there were certain elements that I was like, you know what? I do feel that man had a hand in certain things here that they're subtly manipulating things where I'm like, okay, you know what? But my discernment is allowing me to understand the difference. But I also understood that not everybody has the same discernment, not yet, because certain people are still going through it. And I feel as spiritualists who are at a certain point of evolution, our job is to support them where they're at. If they're still at a point where religion and Jesus is what gives them their peace of mind, their anchor, their foundation, who are we to come and try to remove it? That's what they need for where they're at. So all we can do is support and encourage and show that love. Now the reverse or the opposite should also be true. Like if you're at a point where religion is what does it for you, I don't feel it's in even in your best interest to look down on spiritualists or even to cast any kind of negative energy towards spiritualists because that's technically counter God, counter spirit, counter Jesus, counter all the examples that were said. There was never any example that said you should be negative when it comes to a difference of opinion. It's to understand each their own and to respect each other in that. And I'm at a point now is that if I had to find a religion, it would be love. Like love would be a religion. If I could, what does it mean to be love? What does it mean to be an example of love? That's where I'm striving to be now. Anytime I find myself getting negative about something, that's where I feel bad because I'm like that was an example of love. I feel bad. I like that's where I feel like I've quote unquote sinned. That's where I feel like I've done wrong is when I have not been that example of peace, that example of love, because that's where I'm striving right now. I'm aiming towards Christ consciousness, where I feel it's a level of understanding of the bigger picture, of who we are and why we're here. So, oh, you're on mute, sister. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Todd, you say something? You're on mute.
I was just in agreement. My finger couldn't clap fast. It was like, yes, that's my pilgrimage is bringing that peace. I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, a Christian, a Muslim. I don't care what you are. You still have a soul in you. You still a beautiful gift, and that's what I want to express. So I'm down with wherever you going to find that love. I'm right along with you, brother.
Yeah. Amen to that. So now,
Yeah.
so
Uh,
go ahead, brother. You have something you would like to
yeah.
add? Mhm.
I'm gonna add something, even take it like, to a different level. We found it.
Mm.
We're there. And we found it because the answer is in the beginning, at a time when the mind was clear and lucid, when thinking, when being of open mind was something that is natural. So natural state. See, nothing is solidified. You see, if I ask a question to the world and ask them, like, how many people in this world can be silent for the whole day and still find joy within themselves? This is the problem. If you say everybody right now, no talking today, just walk your path and walk and go to work, don't talk to anybody, just be quiet for the whole day. How many people will find sound spiritual happiness within themselves?
Woo.
So yes, it is very difficult it is easier to use words to try to explain to people why we should unify or why we should do things. But unity starts from within. You see? So if I'm not talking to you, what am I doing with my energy? What am I doing with my mentality if I'm not talking to you? How am I healing myself? It's difficult. People are afraid to look within. I understand, because they are so afraid. And true healing begins from actually facing and confronting me and seeing what I think about, what do I think about, how do I feel? Because trying to put words into audible formats and stuff like that is already going outside of that feeling. You see? So everybody is trying to run out of it, because it takes only those who are spiritually and courageous to stand and be themselves, So that's the thing. And people cannot look inside. And it's an individual responsibility to carry their own cross, to look inside and see the thoughts that go through the head. And by seeing that, one will understand that the experiences that we have led or we have been exposed to coming up is actually what is an autopilot within our minds.
Mhm. Wow.
Autopilot. The experiences we've had as children, there were people before us who were affected by some structures, and they have taught us that structures to be that structure. So now, when you go in there and you see that this is it's not fixed. That which is in the brain is not fixed. It's a design that has been inculcated within the mind. So now, but any design can be reconstructed. This is where spirituality comes in, and you have to go back into the house and cleanse the mind from all, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You have to take everything out and begin to construct on a spiritual way. So it's very difficult for people to look within themselves to do that. So that's what it is. There's no division when it comes to that which was spirit is before words. Spirituality is before words itself. So when you're in true spirit, you don't talk that much.
Oof.
You know, you don't talk, you be. You are being, continuously being, consciousness, continuously being. That is where we are striving to add. That's where we are striving to, we're striving to attain. But all those ideas is within us already. Everything we have is within us to seize the power. So nobody, it is easier to hold on to something and like a construct. You know, we have to be very careful. It is easier to hold on to a construct and stay stagnant.
Yes.
But life is fluid. Emotions are fluid. So we have to learn to let go of things and flow with that spirit. And people who have written religions, people who have designed a ritual to celebrate what they found, these are different avenues. Like you have the true Muslims and the true Christians and the true Buddhists who arrive at the mastership. Like people who wrote it, they were able to tap into that spirituality, and then they designed a practice that can aid that spirituality. And people come and they just forget about that. The idea is to direct people back to a point where everybody can begin to design the right way and to affect community the right way, and progress comes. So these people are worshiping the image and not understanding what has to be done. So that can also affect an individual life. So go back to your base and clear the mental state and begin to write how you want your individual life to function within the society. By so doing, you would, if you do that consistently, you will see that you will draw up a program for your own self that people can follow. Right. Behind. So yeah, going back, spirituality is not words. I'll stop there so sister can take it.
But actually, while sister is preparing to jump on, like I'll give a 2 cents on that just to chime in, because I feel even in what you're saying, you still have to go with how it feels. So what we're saying, because you set apart just now when it talks about taking control, right? And one thing that I do remember when I was more religious, so to speak, even that idea of taking control, I felt it wasn't my place too, right? Because of the conditioning, because of what I was taught. And it's only later on when I got to certain consciousness where I was able to actually feel comfortable taking that control and saying, you know what, God gave me the power. I am God in a sense. I have God in me. I have I'm like, okay, so this spirit, that the Holy Spirit that they're telling me I have to go get, that's actually me. I am a spirit, and I'm living in a physical, right? And so, but it didn't come like overnight. So that's why I so understand my Christian brothers and sisters, or anybody from any religious belief, because if you're not there yet, it feels very out of place to say I could control my life. It's like, whoa.
Yes, we have been conditioned to be afraid of trusting our own spirit.
Naturally, right?
Yes.
But again, it's but it's so important, just that level of understanding and humility, and I feel that if we can break it all down and look past religion and see each other in each other, see that we are one people, one human species, right? One spiritual energy.
Yes, that is only possible because when a person stops walking the wrong path, hoping to find the right address, you know?
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like we're walking. That is individuals walking on the wrong street, looking for the right address. So the address is to find oneself. The whole of world is about remembrance, and I understand because it cannot be done for anybody. It
They have to
cannot
do
be
it for
done for
themselves.
anybody. And it's the most scariest thing to do because it's the unknown.
Mm,
You're jumping into the unknown, and everybody
yes.
want to be in the known.
They want to
You
know
have
the
to go
right
to
path.
yes.
And
The unknown is
and
the
according to what
unknown.
we've been taught, you do this, you're going to heaven. So that's what they
Yes,
know, and that's what they're
that's what you
comfortable with.
know,
Sister
and
Tasha,
that's
you
the
have something you
comfort
want to?
zone.
I don't know if you want
Yeah.
to jump in and chime in, Sister Tasha, because you let Abraham and us go. We'll just go. Eh?
Baby, I'm in it. You see my hands is flaying. Hallelujah. Because, like, I think one of the biggest things for me and the takeaway from all of this, as we converse, is the fact that, I had those same struggles that you had. For me to actually say that I am a creator, that I'm God in flesh, it took a lot for me to be able to say that. And still sometimes scares me because it puts that level of accountability and responsibility in you that says you are the creator of your life. And this is where a lot of people want to run from. When the pandemic came up, the pandemic was the perfect place for you to take control of your life. You no longer had that job to deal with. You no longer had all these circumstances that you felt you were so tied to, and yet everybody wanted to go back to normal. Everybody, the consensus was, I wanted to go back to normal. And I just kept on asking the question, do you know what normal was? Do you remember that normal, you had no power? Do you forget that? You were just shucking and jiving. You hated your job. You hated your life. You hated your relationships. Do you remember what normal was? And I decided from that moment that normal was not going to be my circumstance, that I was going to take control and I was going to go into that unknown. And that unknown has led me into places I never thought that I would go. It took me into rooms that I never thought that I could ever be in because my mind was so limited on who I was. But when I started to understand what Jesus was saying, what Muhammad was saying, what Buddha was saying, what the Taoists, what the Native Indians, what everybody is saying, it brought me back to my self respect, my self accountability. And it made me stop pointing fingers at you. You see this energy right here? Every time you point a finger, remember it's YOU. It spells it out perfectly, doesn't it? YOU. I stopped pointing fingers and I started pointing it at me. Now, look, when I pointed at me, what's coming back at you? What I'm treating myself with. And when I'm treating myself good, you're going to get 3 times that. So when we're sending it out this way or we're sending it out this way, it's going to do what? Multiply and circulate. So instead of pointing that finger at you and calling you this and calling you that and calling you every name but a child of God, calling you everything else but the gift that you are, I was doing that to myself. Now that I pointed the finger at me, oh, you getting all the richness that God had to offer. Because now I got it. So now I can give it. And this is spirituality. This is religion. This is what it was all meant to be, baby.
Well said, guys. So this is like, and the thing is, right now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. I'm looking at the time, and today was just a teaser, okay? Because next week we're gonna have a bit of an extended session. We'll do a 1 to 3. We'll make it a 2 hour session next week, because we're gonna have more guests with us. I've invited some religious scholars. I invited some spiritual warriors, so to speak. We're gonna be present. And it's going to create an opportunity just for us to dialogue, similar to like what we're doing right now, but with the understanding that our objective is peace. It's a common ground. It's not nobody's coming here to try to convince another person. We're coming together to build as a people, understand our differences, find our common ground. With the overall objective is how do we build something solid? Like right now, while we're here toiling about religion and spirituality, society's crushing us. The system is crushing us, and the economics is crushing us. Like we're distracted. Where we need to get back and focus. Like how do we make sure we're going to survive these next couple of years, and our children are going to thrive? Like that's how do we do that, and how do we put our differences aside in order to do that? So, before we wrap now, brother Ibahan, you mentioned something. I'm going to plant this seed right now, put it in the atmosphere. But I would like for us to organize a silent retreat. There's a space in not too far outside of Montreal where they offer them, or maybe even ourselves, we could explore the idea of creating our own silent retreat where we get together and bring the community together, and where we spend the 24 hours together, make it some kind of overnight thing where we could like get together in the day, hang out, spend the night all in silence and into the next morning, and come together. I think that would be an amazing experience for people. So I think it's something that we should organize maybe for sometime in the summer, maybe host it at the retreat, or I'll look into the space that exists somewhere. I know because we have a couple of members who've gone there, so I'm going to inquire of them. But I think it's something, as you mentioned it, I think let's not take it for granted. Let's look at these kind of things, because our goal is to elevate, is to grow spiritually and mentally. And I think that kind of experience could be huge for us. So as we're getting ready to wrap up, if we just want to do our quick round table, what's going on, what's popping on you guys' end, and then we'll close up for this week. Like, this is just a tip of the iceberg. I love this topic, I love this conversation. But I'll see the floor. So Brother Ibrahim, if you want to let people know just what's going on your side, how to reach you, and then Sister Taj, and then I'll close up.
Yeah, on my end, we have a Saturday program that we've designed, like every from 10 to 3, that young adults come to have our communications, arts and craft, gym, swim time, and we're open to having stagiaires come help us, come learn leadership roles, anybody out there, and for neurodiverse parents and guardians to also come see what we do and reach us at United Explorer Special Needs, specialneeds.ca, or by email, or through the House of OFC. And to add to that, I'm going on the radio today to talk about our upcoming Pathways to Inclusion Fair, which brings us back to, on a different level, what we are going to do. I won't say trying to do with Silent Retreat. So the idea is we've brought together now 30 different organizations in Montreal that will be under one roof on the 19th. It's a United Explorer Special Needs Program in partnership with the Silver Adams YMYWHA and the Federation CJA building from the Jewish community. So we're doing the first ever. We are the founders, we are the creators of the first ever Pathways to Inclusion 1.0 fair coming up in Montreal, April 19th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the Silver Adams NYWHA camp. Is a network place, a place to share resources for neurodiverse families, as well as to network and to make friends and to see what's happening. So that's what's coming up, April 19th. Mark the date.
I love it. Thank you. Please share the flyer, the information. We're definitely going to plug that. Make sure the community comes out on ground nombre, so to speak, to support and encourage. And the OFC definitely wants to be a part. So thank you again for this opportunity. Thank you for what you're doing for the community. Sister Tasha.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm actually doing something these days with myself.
I know, I've been following.
Yes. So I've decided to go against the paradigm, go against the grain, and with all the stuff that's happening in the world, the wars, the destruction, the self-hate, the depression, all that stuff. And it's time to get back to you. And so every morning, 7 days a week, I'm dedicated to the 7 days. 7 to 10 a.m. That's your work time, that's your church time, that's your whatever time in the morning. You come and you start to elevate yourself and get yourself back into a beautiful space. Working with the messages of Reverend Ike, who was excommunicated from the church. He was kicked out completely from the church. They wouldn't have nothing to do with him. They called him a charlatan. They called him that. And the one thing that he keeps telling you is the power of I am. And so bringing his message back and working with that and just combining all the knowledge that I have combined with the knowledge that he is sharing, it's really taken on a life of its own. Seeing people's lives changing, watching people manifest money out of nowhere, great health out of nowhere. I actually have a young lady that before she stepped into the room, she was addicted, like heavily addicted to drugs. And since she's been in the room for the last 2 weeks, she has not taken any drugs. She has not set herself down. She has been elevating. She is now having a deeper relationship with her child. She's healing stuff from her past with her father. And so, the things that we are doing, we might think that it's light. We might think that it doesn't mean anything, because I'm just sitting there sharing with them what I was doing for myself. And it is now changing lives in magnificent ways. If you guys have the opportunity, you can check me out on Facebook, on TikTok. You can check me out on Twitch. You can check me out on YouTube, all at Taja Love Oracle. And every day, 7 to 10, 7 days a week, I don't give up on you, and you don't give up on yourselves. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Queen, that is huge. That is huge. And just to give you just extra props on that, because I was blessed to have a spiritual session yesterday, and the guides had reminded me that there's a lot that happens that we don't see, and there's certain beings are on this planet that are here to create sparks and to create plant seeds and to set things in motion. And a lot of times, like the way they broke it down, it's like 95% of the time we have no idea the impact. We could say something in passing to somebody and it completely changed their world and changed the world with the people around them. So Queen, you're doing your due. Thank you for doing your part here on the planet. And actually, and shoot, I gotta say, because even one of the situations that I had, I was able to connect with some members that had basically connected with the OFC years ago. And in speaking with them, funny enough, in Ghana, they actually brought it to my attention that it was through the OFC that they were able to build and to connect and establish a relationship and now have children. And I've gone to the continent, and it's like so much world was created just by creating a space for people who share the same visions and values to come together. So again, I'm grateful for that. So on this side, very quick, so one, just reminding you guys next week, join us, where I'm going to actually put out a registration form because for me, it's really important to manage the space as well. So anybody who's interested, just reach out to the OFC, reach out to me. I'll send you a registration form where we'll provide you the link. Those who want to engage in the dialogue will be invited to be a part of the Zoom where we could exchange. And those who just want to watch it, we'll send you the link so you can just watch it on YouTube. But it's just important to manage the space, just to ensure we get the most out of the conversation and it doesn't become a debate because we're not here to debate, we're here to build. And also just to remind you guys, every day we take a pause for peace at 12 o'clock Eastern time. We're on Facebook. Just check out Pause for Peace. We have a Facebook page on there where we do a quick live. We usually I try my best to jump on like 5 minutes before noon. We just share positive energy, share the importance of just raising the vibration, share the importance of appreciation. And 12 o'clock Eastern time, we come together and take a quick pause for peace and just putting that energy for the planet. As we know, we all need it. The planet needs it, and it just helps to raise the vibration. So with that, as we're preparing to close up, we are going to be switching over for those who are available. We're continuing from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. with West Can Folk Performing Company. I'll be moderating a conversation with an amazing panel of people who work within the culture, and we're talking about the rituals that we practice to acknowledge life and to acknowledge death. It's a 4-part series. Today is the first part where we're talking about birth and we're talking about naming. We have our brothers, some brothers and sisters from Montreal as well as from Ghana who are going to be participating and sharing what they know to elevate and encourage and to empower you all. For those who are seeking more information about their culture, their roots, and their history, this is the space. So just join us. I'll share the links again for those who have not registered. I'll put it in the chat here, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the next couple of minutes. And if you can't make it next couple of minutes, looking forward to seeing you next week. With that, sending you guys love, light, and strength. Brother Ibrahim's Queen Taja, I appreciate you guys. Sending you guys love and light, and we're on next week.
Thank you.
Peace, 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 and blessings.